大家好，欢迎来到我的频道，我叫米奇。今天的节目是，如果你要去中国旅游或者学习，但是你们有钱。好，我们开始啊。今天我有我的笔记本。Okay, like the title says, this is not a clickbait. You can get to travel China for as little as nothing. Now there are 4 levels to this. Level 1 being where you have to pay some money, and then level 4 will be where you have to pay the least amount of money. I'll go from level 1 to level 4. Okay, so level 1 will be camps. There are 2 types of camps that you can join. The first camp I'm going to be talking about is the Confucius Institute camps. Now, for disclaimer, I am going to be talking about my own experiences and places that I know of or that I have visited or done research on. So they will be quite similar to others, but not 100%. If you like to get more information, you'd have to research in your own cities or your own countries that you currently reside in. Okay, so under camps, like I said, it's going to be the Confucius Institute camps. Now these happen twice a year: the summer camp, which happens in July/August, and then the winter camp, which happens in November/December. And how you can do this is, if you are a Confucius Institute student, doesn't matter if you're a beginner, intermediate or advanced, you can still go for these camps. What is included in these camps is your accommodation, the local field trips and transport that you'll be doing, as well as food. Now these camps usually run for about 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, and what you will have to pay for is your round-trip ticket and your visa. Now, as for Botswana, at the Confucius Institute at my old university, we had to pay, give or take, 15,000, which is equivalent to $1,100. And this includes, again, your round-trip ticket and your visa. Visas cost around $30 to $50, so it's not really a lot. And another interesting thing about these camps is that you get to travel more than 2 cities. For the Confucius Institute at my previous school, they have a partner school in Shanghai. So you would first go to Shanghai Normal University, and then from there on they would go to another city. So in the past they've been to Beijing, Xi'an, and I think they've also been to Chengdu. It just depends per year. So this is just to let you know that where you go in China will depend on your Confucius Institute. Now, so the total amount, again, like I said, will be $1,100. And an extra thing is you can bring your own pocket money if you'd like to do some miscellaneous stuff and shopping. The second type of camp will be Chinese summer school camps. Now I'm going to be talking about Shanghai Normal University summer camp. This is commonly known as the Shanghai Government Scholarship African Students Summer Camp. So like in the name says, it is for African students. And with this, so that means number 1, you either have to be a student in an African university or you have to be a Confucius Institute student in Africa. So any country in Africa, it does not matter. What is included in this is the tuition, the accommodation, and the local field trips. So this trip usually happens around the July/August. For this year, 2024, it's going to be from the 14th of July until the 10th of August. So that means next year, 2025, it will also be around this time. Now, I have attended this camp twice already, but it was online due to COVID restrictions and we were not also able to travel. So we had to do everything online. But as from 2024 going forward, they have decided to move this camp physical, so offline. I would really encourage you guys to try and sign up for this camp. Now, you don't have to go for the Shanghai Normal University one. You can go for any summer camp in China. A lot of schools do offer this. So now let's talk about pricing. How much do you have to pay? So the only things that you will have to pay if you win the full scholarship is you're gonna pay for your round-trip ticket, your visa application, and then you also need money for food. So that's gonna be around $850 for a round ticket $30 for your visa, and then $400 for your food, which brings it to a total of $1,280, give or take, right? Again, I would love to mention that your flight ticket will depend. Sometimes it will be cheaper than the $850, sometimes it will be a little bit more. These are just estimates based on what I have done research on today, so this can change. They also have the self-sponsored version of these summer camps, and they're usually quite affordable. For this one, students are required to pay 8,500 RMB, which translates to $1,175. So if you include this with the food money, it will be $2,460. This is again with the visa application, your round trip, and the food. The $400 that you're gonna take for food, you don't have to go with $400. You can go with less money or you can go with more money. This is just a rough estimate of how much you would need for your trip. Going on to level 2, these are the province and Shanghai, sorry, not the Shanghai government, the Chinese government scholarships. Now, there are many Chinese scholarships available, but for the sake of this video, I will group them up as the Chinese government scholarships. I will do a future video on this where I talk about the individual scholarships that are available and how you can apply for it and everything. So for these Chinese government scholarships, they do have an age limit. Oh, sorry, going back to level 1, under the Shanghai Normal University summer camp, there is an age limit, unfortunately. So the age limit at the time, I'm not sure about now, but at the time it was 18 years, and then the oldest you could be was 35. All right, now going back to level 2, for the Chinese government scholarships, there are different types. So there's the 2-year one, there's the 4-year, and then there's the 6-year. So the 2 years will be mostly people who are doing masters and language students. The 4-year will be your bachelor's/PhD. Your 5-year will be your PhDs, some bachelor students, and the medicine students. Now we are going to talk about the hassle-free one, which is the language scholarship. So you can apply for a Chinese government scholarship just to study language in China. How long you want to study language for will be up to you and the scholarship you are awarded for, but I think it goes from 1 year, the maximum being I think 4 years, just for general language studies. All right, so again, there will be age limits for the various sections. Age range go from 18 all the way up to 60 years old. Again, the age limit will also depend on the school that you're going to be enrolled in. So what is included in this? This is a full coverage scholarship whereby they cater for your full accommodation, your tuition, and your insurance. The only thing that you have to pay for is your one-way ticket and your visa applications, and you need stipend or allowance for 1 month. So roughly your flight ticket will cost you around $600-700. You will need $30 for your visa application, and then you will need roughly around $700 for your first month of stipend. The reason why it is $700 is because if you're going to study for more than 1 year in China, you need to bring money for your residence permit and for your medicals as well, because the first year that you get there, or the first month you get there, you have to go for medicals and you have to apply for a residence permit that will allow you to stay in China for a long time. So rounding this up, it will be between $1,330 to $1,450 one-time payment that you make at the start. Going to level 3, this is the Confucius Institute Scholarship. Now there are levels to this. There's the degree levels and the non-degree level. Today I'm going to be talking about the non-degree level. So this is for students who want to apply to learn language in China. So for this there are 3 levels. There is the 1 year study period, 1 semester, which is roughly 6 months, and then there's the 1 month, right? So for the 1 year, it goes from September to July. For the 1 semester, you can either choose the winter semester, which is the September to January, or you can choose the summer semester, which is March to July. And then the 1 month, again, you can choose the winter period or the summer period. For winter, it's going to be from December to January, and then the summer, it will be from July to August. So what does this cater for? This caters for your accommodation, your tuition, your insurance. For those who are staying for more than 6 months, they will cater for your insurance as well. And then your one round trip. So yes, they do pay for your flight ticket. Again, the flight ticket is a little bit iffy because according to the websites, a lot of them do say that they pay for your round trip. But I guess you will know the specifications once you apply. They will tell you more details about it. As for the 1 month scholarship, you do not get a stipend, unfortunately. But for the 6 months and the 1 year, you will get a stipend of 2,500 RMB, which is about, I think, $350 to $300 a month. Same as the Chinese government scholarship, you do get a stipend depending on what you're going for. So the stipend again ranges from $300 to the most is $450 every single month that you're in the country. So you do get a lot of time to travel, you do get a lot of time to explore the cities alongside just simply learning Chinese. Right. So how much is the total? So the total of this, since you're only going to be paying for your visa and your 1 month stipend, you will be saving up or paying anywhere between $250 to $700 for your first month there. Or if you're going for the 1 month duration, that's all you're going to have to spend. The fourth level, this is the Chinese Bridge competition. So this kind of ties into the level 3, which is CIS. So for the Chinese Bridge competition, you do have to work a little bit harder than the other 3 categories, simply because you have to take part in a competition. So what is the Chinese Bridge? The Chinese Bridge is a competition for second language learners of Chinese to participate and compete with other second language learners of Chinese students, and the whole point is to determine who is the best language speaker. So this is just a fun competition to encourage a lot more students around the world to learn Chinese. Now, how do you participate in this competition? This competition happens once a year, usually between February and April, if I remember correctly. And with this, you're going to go through the national competition. So this is competing with other people within the same country. And once you win that, you will go to the regional level, which is competing with other people within your continent. And from there onwards, you go compete on a continental level, which is competing with other people from the other continents. So essentially, there will be one grand master. But once you pass the national level and you go on to regionals, you do get a chance to win a scholarship to study in China. The scholarship ranges from 1 month study, the 1 semester study, 1 year study, and the degree. People who are going for the grand championship, they get a chance to study a degree in China. And those who are in the regional competition, they get a chance to win either from the 1 year to the 1 month. Now, the great thing about this is that there are so many mini competitions in between. So they do have competitions for the best smile, the best charisma, the best dressed, the best music video, the best poem, the best whatever, the best dance. So they do have a lot of mini competitions. So everyone does have a great chance of winning a study scholarship to China. Now, to rank which one is the best, I would say the CIS level 3 is the best scholarship to win if you are planning on going to China for a short period of time, simply because you do the most minimum work. Now, who is eligible for the CIS and the Chinese Bridge competition? For the CIS, all you need to do is be a student of the Confucius Institute. As for the Chinese Bridge, all you need to do is 1, be a student of the Confucius Institute, or 2, be part of an university that also does Chinese, right? So the CIS, there is an age limit. The age limit goes from 16 years to 35, sometimes 45. That is, if you are doing the degree, your age limit goes up to 45. But if you're doing the non-degree programs, the age limit, unfortunately, is 35. So if you are outside of these age ranges, unfortunately, you will not be eligible for this. Then I would then suggest you go for the summer camps, or you go for the Chinese government scholarship. Again, there are other restrictions in terms of what level of Chinese you need to have. For the 1-year students, you need to have HSK 3, you need to have passed HSK 3, and you need to have at least 180 points in HSK 3. This is for the 1-year study program. For the 6-month study program, you need to have passed HSK 2, and your points need to be more than 120. For the 1-month program, you need to have any HSK certificate. So whether you have HSK 1, HSK 6, it doesn't matter. For the Chinese Bridge competition, there is no restriction, like I said, in terms of your HSK certificate, but you need to have some knowledge of Chinese. Again, because this is a Chinese competition, you need to be able to hear and understand basic Chinese and be able to read basic characters, because the exam that you take, it will be full on in Chinese. There will not be any pinyin or anything like that. It will be full on Chinese characters. So you need to have a good understanding of Chinese in order to participate for the Chinese Bridge competition. But I do have to say, you do not have to be fluent at all. The time that I did the Chinese Bridge competition, I was nowhere near fluent in Chinese. I'm still not fluent in Chinese. I was learning to read characters, and I still managed to win. So anyone can do it. Anyone is welcome to do it. For the Chinese Bridge, if I remember correctly, I think there is an age limit, simply because this is for college and university students. The age limit was between, I think, 18 and 30 or 35. That was the age limit for the Chinese Bridge competition. There are other forms of this competition, which is the primary school. So those are for the little kids. There is no other competition for post-grad. So if you are over the age limit, unfortunately, there is no other competition. This is it. Another thing that is great about this is that throughout the year, whether it's through the Chinese Bridge, Hanban Institute, or it is through the CIS system, or through the Confucius HSK exams system, they do hold a lot of competitions. If you subscribe to the websites or the emails, they always constantly send you links to mini competitions or mini games that you can take part in, and with that you are able to win either mini scholarships, or you're able to win cool gadgets or cool materials that you can use to help you learn and further your Chinese studies. All right, sidetrack, you guys. Nothing in this life comes for free. Nothing in this world comes for free. So if you really would love to travel China or even Taiwan or Hong Kong, there is a little price for you to pay, and that price will be you learning a language, which honestly is not a big price to pay. It's not a big deal. Learning languages tends to be fun, and you don't have to be fluent. That's the beauty of it all. You don't have to be fluent when you're learning this. All you have to do is learn the basics of the language, the basics of the culture around you, whether you're going to China or whatever other country where they have these types of opportunities. You just have to learn a little bit about the culture, the people, and whoever is around you. And if you are someone who would like to have doors opened up in your life and you don't want to be stagnant, you can save up money and you can do this, because once you go through this period, you can then have a better chance of getting accepted if you're to apply for furthering your studies, right? When you're applying for the big scholarships and you want to further your studies, you have a greater chance of being accepted because you're already affiliated with a Chinese university. And number two, if you're going for the 6-month to 1 year or 2 year periods, it gives you a greater chance for you to get internships and jobs abroad as well, meaning that at the end of your 6 months or at the end of your 1 year period, you immediately jump into getting another type of residence and another type of visa for you to be able to get jobs. So there is a lot of opportunities in you doing this, travel to study, or travel to learn a language, or travel to do whatever. So if you are interested in this, I will put all the links to the official websites down below in the description box, and feel free to also message me and ask me any questions. Thank you so much. That will be all for today. Hope you like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below. I'll see you guys next week for the next episode. Bye.